Switzerland's taken a big step to stopping its mosques getting foreign financing or preaching in Arabic. The lower house of the Federal Assembly voted in favour of the new rules. If it becomes law, mosques will also have to declare where they get their money from and how they use it, along with conducting all of the prayers in one of the country's 4 national languages. However, critics warn the legislation discriminates against Muslims and fuels extremism. And it's not the only extremely sensitive issue for Swiss lawmakers at the moment. One of the biggest states, Zurich, has just voted to drastically cut social assistance for failed asylum seekers, branding it a drain on taxpayers. And other parts of Europe are considering similar moves, notably Germany as well as Austria, where an estimated 90% of migrants are benefiting from such assistance programmes. OK, let's discuss the proposed clampdown on Swiss mosques then, and whether a backlash against immigration could be contributing to what some perceive as being Islamophobic laws. Let's bring in Niels Fichte, who's the co-president of the youth wing of the Swiss People's Party, and also Ajmal Masroor, who's an imam and a politician over in the UK. To you first, Niels, who will benefit from this law? I'm trying to understand the motivation behind it. Niels, can you hear me OK? OK, looks like Niels can't hear. If I can just ask the guys in the gallery if we can try and fix the sound with Niels. In the meantime, I'll come to you, Ajmal. Why do you think the government needs to enforce rules and regulations in mosques? Why is that needed?
Government doesn't need to enforce any rules and regulations when it comes to speeches, sermons. We don't do that with churches. We don't do that with any other faith leaders or institutions. The clerics should be free to speak their mind. What we do need to have, of course, is a measure of responsibility, and this should be self-regulated. What I worry about in Switzerland is that Swiss government, through its referendums, have enacted very draconian anti-Muslim laws, banning of minaret, scarf, etc. These do not help. In a multicultural, pluralistic democracy such as Switzerland, these, to me, sound like and appear as secular fundamentalism, if nothing else, overly and extremely discriminatory towards Muslims. I don't mind us telling the imams to speak in the local and native language. I've been doing it for 25 years in English. Of course, if the government needs to legislate on that, I think that's wasting taxpayers' money and wasting government's own time too.
OK, let's come across to Niels. I believe Niels Fichte can hear me now. Niels, if you caught that, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a waste of time. Why do we need to be checking where the money's coming from, prohibiting it? Why do we need to be affecting what languages people are preaching in?
Yeah, thanks for your question. First of all, we need to get down to the problem. And I think in Europe and also in Switzerland, we have got a massive problem with radical Islamists, and you have to name that word, that term, radical Islamic terrorism. And I think Mr. Masroor has great experience with London, with Manchester, with his country, and he knows that it's a big threat to our religion, to our people, to our society, that we have got people that don't have our good in mind and that want to make terrorist attacks. So this new bill here in Switzerland isn't against Muslims, it's against radical Islamic terrorists.
Go ahead.
Let me challenge you, Neil. When you say Islamic terrorist, would you call a pig ever kosher pig? You won't. A pig can never be kosher. A pig is a pig. As far as Jewish religion is concerned, pig is prohibited. In Islam, terrorism is not allowed. Don't call it Islamic terrorism. It indicates your own ignorance. Call it terrorism.
I don't.
Call it anything else. It cannot be Islamic.
There's a difference between the normal Islam. There's a difference between the normal Islam and the radical Islam. I think you should know that. I don't believe that you're a radical Islamist. I believe that you're a normal Muslim that practices his religion normal, and we don't have something against you. We want that our policemen and our investigators have the possibility to understand what those imams are preaching. And if they don't have the possibility, if they only hear Arabic words or words they don't understand, then there's a big safety problem for Switzerland. And Switzerland until now is one country in Europe that didn't have a terrorist attack, and we want to keep that situation.
And I welcome your desire to keep your country safe. I would do everything possible myself when I do visit Switzerland to help you. It's not an issue for me. Here is the issue.
Okay,
when I'm walking around Lake Geneva, what I hear often in summer days is mainly Arab visitors speaking Arabic. So if your police officers and if your intelligence services and if your drive to criminalize Arabic language is going to become normal, are you going to not see a huge problem in your tourism industry, number one? And number two, you don't need to ban imams from speaking in Arabic to deal with radicalization. We need to create education program, empowering program. You need to deal with the unemployment issues. You need to deal with the discrimination that you have in your society. You need to create a level playing field for everybody so that they feel they're part of the society. The problem with Switzerland is you have created two-tier system in which Swiss people who are white, they're treated differently to Muslims who are not white. And I can tell you from my experience of Britain, we don't have that here.
Us white people, so I don't know, yeah.
No, I'm not being racist.
You can't compare your country with our country. Our country isn't a member of the European Union. Our country is independent. And the most important point is that our country didn't have any terrorist attacks. So our task is it to prevent that situation, and we don't want to have it that radical Islamists have got control above those imams and over mosques here in Switzerland. So again, we don't want to ban Arabic language. We don't want to ban normal Muslims. Our target is to punish those who don't accept our law and our order. We are a state who wants to have strict laws, and so that's why the Senate now again needs to confirm the law, the bill of the National Council of Switzerland. So it's very important that we keep our safety strategy, and we're a whole different situation to your country. So it isn't possible to compare that.
We can work together in the sense that learn from our experience in Britain.
Yes,
we have integration at the forefront of our conversations. We have empowering of young people at the forefront of our conversations. We have communities and police officers and intelligence officers working together. What I'm fearing in Switzerland is by creating such law, you will have many people finding themselves in the wrong side of your law for no reason apart from suspicion. What you want to do is work together. We will want to work entire world safe. We want to work together to keep every country in Europe safe so that our children are safe. But you know what? You're not going to be able to do that by banning minarets and banning or legislating against what language imams would speak. I think that's a wrong step in the wrong direction.
30 seconds to go. Niels, I'll give you the final word.
The difference to your country is that our people could decide whether or not they want to have minarets, and now it's our politicians who have got the possibility to make more safety in our country, and that's what we want to do. So the last and final word is that now the Senate of Switzerland has got the possibility to make this happen, and I would be really proud if we could make a step further in the direction to more safety in our country.
Gentlemen, I greatly appreciate you both coming on. Appreciated both your points of view there. Niels Fichte, co-president of the youth wing of the Swiss People's Party, and Ajmal Masroor, who's an imam and politician in the UK. Many thanks to you both.